Welcome. I am Sri Ram Kaa.
Namaste, beloved one. My name is Kira Raa, and Sri and I are honored that you have chosen to take a moment and learn more about Ascension Acceleration. We have been sharing for 8 years now the Ascension Acceleration symptoms, and they are literally an experience, let's put it that way, that have been alive and well on our planet for those who are ready to pay attention. We suspect that you are already experiencing some of these or may just want more information, and we're going to cover all of that for you in this short film.
Before we do, I want to make sure we're all on the same page as far as some of the words. You know, ascension is a lifting in your vibratory rate, your essential vibration or hum. And the world, meaning Gaia, the earth, has been lifting her frequency for quite a number of years.
Yes.
So many of these so-called symptoms, many of these felt experiences that we're going to describe to you today have been going on for quite a few years, especially since the turn of the millennium in 2000.
Yes.
Because I'll tell you what, the amperage began to kick up at that time, and we all began having a different kind of experience in our life. Now, whether you're aware of it or not, whether you paid attention or not, everybody, every animal, every plant, everything in this ecosystem is experiencing a new frequency right now.
You know, way back, seems like way back in 2004, behind us here, this is the Divine Galactic Blueprint. This is basically your chakras on Ascension. And back in 2004, a beautiful series of messages came through Sri and I called Living in the Fifth Dimension. And you can find this series of messages for free, a very powerful series of messages, at our website, sriandkira.com. Just simply go to the free Archangelic Messages section and click on Living in the Fifth Dimension. The reason I mention that is, it is because of this fifth dimensional expansion, it is because of this energy that this, and you know, we're really using the word symptoms in quote, that this symptomology, that these very tangible experiences have come forward. I know a lot of you, you know, one of them is this sense of you think you're going crazy, or people around you think you're going crazy. And without having full comprehension of the dimensional shifts that are happening, if you've not yet watched our video, The Collapse of the Fourth Dimension, please do, it will help you, is that, you know, you are needing support. All of the beautiful messengers on the planet right now, all of them, are serving their role to be here in a support mechanism for those of you that are awakening. Because when you awaken, oftentimes the steps are, where do I go? Who do I talk to? Instead of running to someone that you love and trust who means so well but has no idea what's happening, and you either wind up going backwards, medicating yourself for something that has nothing to do with the physical form, or giving yourself kind of like a guilt trip that you ever had an experience to begin with. So our goal is to offer you some reassurance and some really tangible information. So first thing we want to remind you of is this is our list, the list that we published in 2004. It's also in our book 2012 You Have a Choice. It's in our book 2012 Awakening. It's posted on our website, sriandkira.com. Just go to the practices and you'll see it right there, Ascension Acceleration Energy Experiences. There are 22 things on this list that are important for you to pay attention to. Download the list, print the list, look at the list. You know, just a couple of them really quickly. Something that you might not even have considered, headaches. Now I want you to think about that. Headaches. Another one that ties in with that is these wild vision adjustments. Another one that ties in with that is sleep interruptions, right? You're not sleeping the way you used to. This sense of going crazy, losing your mind.
Hearing tones in your ears.
These far off tones all the time is a really big one. You know, another one is also this heightened sensitivity to smell or taste or sound. Things that never used to grab your attention. And initially, when your vibrational rate is raising, what happens is that it doesn't just raise overnight. Anybody that tells you that is just not telling you the truth. In that moment, you may be having that heightened state of experience. As a matter of fact, a heightened state of experience and then going back out of it is one of the symptoms. But your vibrational rate kind of touches in. touches out, touches in, touches out, just like my dog who's barking in the background, and I apologize. But as you're touching in and touching out, what you're discovering is you're learning. You're learning how to stay in that vibration.
Because your vibrational rate has a lot to do with your soul, meaning your essential energy, interacting with your consciousness or your sense of identity. And so we create a sense of identity. It's really called the ego, and that sense of identity really wants to be stable. We want to have a predictable sense of the world. We want a good beat on things, and so that ego structure doesn't like change. We may find that new environments are adventuresome, but we don't want to threaten, you know, the internal sense of balance. So when these ascension acceleration energies happen, we'll get a glimpse, we'll get excited, we'll get some sort of recognition that we're shifting, and then the ego will want to pull us back to the way it was. And this is why there's a certain respiration to the ascension process. We step forward a little bit, we pause, we step forward, we pause, sometimes we go back. Everybody's different.
And you know, that's what's happening on the planet right now, isn't it? As a planet, there is the respiration. The planet as a whole goes forward. We have these beautiful in and out breaths of energy. And we're noticing right now that we're kind of in an in-breath again. And the key is for you to not stop breathing. As you have the reassurance that what's happening to you is part of your greater awakening, it's your wake-up call. It's your spiritual maturity coming forward. You know, we've mentioned time and time again, if you've not gotten our free ebook, What is Self-Ascension? Go to our website, shriandkira.com. It's right there. Click on it. Free ebook. Learn more about self-ascension, because you are lifting again into this state. This is your divine galactic blueprint. When we allow ourselves this gift, the 2012 symptoms, as we're calling them now, which are new ones that have ushered in. I know for a lot of you watching this video, you might have said, gosh, you know, Shri and Kira, I've been tracking with you for the past 8 years, and I've been through all 22 of these. I've got it.
I've repeated some of them.
Over and over. and seriously, for those of you that haven't, website, shriandkira.com, practices, and you'll see it right there, Ascension Acceleration Experiences. But one of the things that's important to recognize is that with the advent of the massive escalation of fifth dimensional energy, it's been here, the fifth dimension has been here, my loves, for a while. However, with the massive escalation of energy, with the full collapse, the fourth dimension's been collapsing for a while, but with the full collapse of the fourth dimension, and again, we have a video right here you can go watch and learn about that, these experiences, these ascension experiences are getting greater. So we want to offer you a few more that are happening right now. Number one, battling depression. And it's no secret that more and more people on this planet right now are being medicated for depression than ever before. Depression seems to be out of control. People that have been battling depression for years are suddenly finding themselves, why am I doing this again? The reason being is that the inner egoic frame knows that it must finally give way. It's basically like that simultaneous sheer joy and terror, meaning that you know your new life is beginning, but you also know there is the grief that the old life is ending, because that's what's happening. Yeah,
to the ego self, which is really your inner child, this childlike aspect of yourself is beginning to mourn the loss of the way it was. So that's one element. You know, another element is this sense of yearning for spiritual family, only we haven't quite articulated it. We just know that something's missing.
Yes.
It's that sense of, I don't quite belong, it's not quite working anymore, I'm depressed. Well, what's behind this, that energy is a need to connect with spiritual family. This means perhaps some new beings that you hadn't yet met.
And to allow yourself the gift of realizing, not to judge yourself. You know, if you're watching this video and you're saying, oh my God, you know, I'm taking medication for depression, well, wonderful. You know, the reality is to allow yourself the gift of not judging yourself. I'm not saying it's a wonderful thing to take medication for depression. What I'm saying is that it's proactive to recognize the depression is not the truth of who you are. Depression helps us create long-term solutions to short-term problems. And the reality is, all of our long-term solutions for any short-term experience is the reconnection with the deeper sense of who we truly are. However, in this massive escalation of symptoms right now, depression is a new one that's back up on the radar, and it's up there really high. And so the reason it's up there is because it's also the way that forces that would choose to stop you from the ascension process can very easily get a hold of you.
Yeah. And that ties back to the medication,
exactly.
Actually. Medication is a short-term respite to help you reorganize yourself. But if it becomes part of your identity, then chances are it'll limit your expansion.
And we are in no way encouraging you to stop anything. We're just saying for you to pay attention.
Pay attention.
And it brings and paying attention, I think, brings us to the second one, which is a sense of walking on air. Now, I'm going to share this with you because very personally, I've been experiencing this one where I am absolutely, one minute I'm walking, the next minute I feel like I'm walking on air, and then I'm having a problem falling to the point where I've actually injured myself very severely twice in the past year. One time needing many stitches in my head, causing a major concussion. Most recently, I fractured my tailbone. And so presence, presence, presence. This sense of instability is because the Earth herself, the planet herself, is going in and out of phase. We are learning how to go in and out of phase. And scientists, astrophysicists are all starting to talk about it. Isn't that amazing? And so I know for myself, Shri and I have been living in fifth dimensional energy for so long, and we've been living in fifth dimensional, powerful fifth dimensional containers, TOSA Ranch, New Mexico, TOSA La Laguna, Guatemala. Because we're living in fifth dimensional energy, this is why I know for myself I'm having such stronger response to this sense of going in and out of phase.
And so for many of you, that'll be experienced as a sense of dizziness or lightheadedness.
Exactly.
And with that also comes perhaps a lapse in memory.
Yes.
That there'll be a moment where you go, wait a minute, am I getting senile here? What's going on? I don't remember what I was doing.
And you're not. And you know, this was on the original 22 list. However, it's gotten to the point where it's an expanded, it's more like a wave. I want you to think of this as a harmonic wave. You are learning how to phase shift. Whether that hits your conscious mind or not doesn't matter. Just let that energy float through you right now. You are learning how to phase shift. Remember, being a solid form in just one dimension is not the truth of who you are. It is an aspect of your experience as a divine, limitless being having the gift of expansion. That's all it is, no more, no less. So actually, all of these ascension experiences that we're having right now are retraining you to remember.
And you can have some fun with this.
Exactly. And
you know, when you forget something, instead of saying, what did I forget, you might ask yourself, where have I been?
Yes, and that's a really good thing to bring us to the next one. Number 3, remembering universal wisdom. How many of you are noticing that all of a sudden out of nowhere, you could be driving, you could be sitting at work, you could be talking to your beloved, talking to your friend, and you're getting flashes, like they could be instantaneous, but these flashes of huge insight or wisdom that might seem to have come out of nowhere, or these extraordinary ideas that seem so incredible that you wonder where they're coming from. And so you want to, as Shri said, you want to have some fun with this. Carry a little recorder. Carry a little journal. Say it out loud and give it form. Start acknowledging your greater telepathic ability. We are all telepathic.
Yes.
We are all intuitive. We are all clairvoyant. The window has opened for you to claim that again. You know, in our very first book, Sacred Union, The Journey Home, way back, 2003, Archangel Zadkiel gave Shri and I, for you, this beautiful practice on how to reclaim your telepathic power. Use it, learn it, reclaim it. You are a telepathic being, and this next symptom is waking you back up to that. The Archangelic Realm, the beautiful blue starborn, all of the beautiful beings of divine light and love that are phase shifting in and out from their dimensions, actually downward to assist us right now, all say the same thing. Your words will not lift you out of this experience because the words of the third dimension don't matter. They will be able to read your heart because your heart is infinite and will always be read. Your telepathic communication is the communication. And so this is why this symptom has come together, this divine message, so to speak. When you start acknowledging these divine streams of wisdom, they will start becoming clearer, they will become more profound, and you will start trusting yourself more.
So living here in being birthed in the third dimension, yet participating in an awakening, in a shift into the fifth dimension, we get to straddle worlds from time to time.
Indeed.
And so it's important to remember that what is right here, your heart, is the gateway to the ascended state.
And this brings us to the final one, physical body adaptation. The physical body during this period of time may start feeling, you might have strange ache and pains you have never had before. Suddenly that shoulder is really hurting, the hip is hurting, and then the next day they feel great and something else is hurting. Or going back to some of the original 22, the vision, the headaches. The physical body needs reassurance, just as we are here today offering you reassurance. How do you reassure the physical body? One way is to simply bring your hands to your heart. When we bring our hands to our heart, what we're doing is we are saying to ourselves, to our physical form, I am here. The greater I am is here. It's okay. You don't even have to do this consciously. If you learn to just bring one hand to a heart, it sends a signal to the body that says, it's okay. Everything's going to be okay. Another gift right now is lots and lots of water, drinking water, really good, pure, clear water, drinking water, bathing in water, swimming in water. Put your feet into water, but water, water, water. Increase the flow. Let the body know that it is loved, and as you offer this reassurance to the body, everything else will come into place. Living in the fifth dimension is actually a beautiful and simple thing to do while you are in form. And the fifth dimension is here, and you are ready. And we are grateful that you have been with us for this moment right now.
Namaste.
Namaste.